Okay, I'm going to introduce our new assignment called Surface Design, which I think should be really fun, and it should be an opportunity for you to play around and just try new things. So the first thing I want to say is just a common place to find illustration is on products or textiles. And once you start looking, you realize that illustration and design is just everywhere. So almost any surface can be used for illustration, from kitchen appliances to clothing, accessories, or other everyday and specialty items. So this assignment will really give you somewhat of free rein to illustrate or design for some facet of the surface industry or surface design industry. So I'll go through some different categories, and you will be able to kind of choose which one you want to explore. Just as a side note, you can also incorporate patterns or hand lettering. It's not a requirement, but it's definitely a fun thing that you can play around with. So we'll look at this chart that kind of breaks down what surface design can be, and you can see that there's a lot of different options. So it can be used in the kitchen, it can be used on clothing. So here we have cards, wrapping paper, so greeting cards, gift products, wall art like wallpaper, home decor, children's apparel, scrapbooking, which it goes more a little bit towards the crafty side, book covers, and editorial. So really they're kind of putting everything into this category. And then the largest category is fabrics. So we'll look a little bit at all of those. And if you want to look more into where this chart came from, I put the website link so you can go check out that article about surface design. Okay, our first category is greeting cards. So you're probably familiar, you've probably received and given many greeting cards. There's so many different ways to approach a greeting card and have fun with it. I really like this collection because it takes the idea of the greeting card and then kind of makes it into a little snow globe and plays around with that idea as a theme. And these are really cute. The Rifle Paper Company is a very popular company for textiles and wrapping paper and, of course, greeting cards. And they just have a very cute and whimsical feel, but also has sophistication to their work and design. I love this little gingerbread house and that it breaks the frame of a regular card and becomes the shape of the gingerbread house. Minted is another company that's become very popular with fun and playful greeting card designs. Cambridge Imprint, they have some kind of quirky illustrations with this kind of almost medieval influence. And then this is some work by Lisa Perrin. So we have a pop-up card. Pop-up is definitely something that you could play around with if you're interested in that for this assignment. And I also love this card by Lisa, which really features some really beautiful hand lettering. It's just a reminder that there are so many different holidays. So if there's something that is specific to a holiday that you celebrate, you're certainly able to explore that. So if you are interested in creating greeting cards, for the prompt for this assignment, it would be to create 3 to 5 different card designs, and they should be no smaller than 6 inches. If you want to play around with 4x6, that's fairly standard, but you could also do a square or a more unconventional format. I would just say no smaller than 6 inches. And then I would also recommend that you choose a theme and create a small card collection. So if you choose a holiday, event, or let's say like if you choose encouragement cards that just have hopeful messages, that could be a good theme to design your cards around. Okay, the next category is textiles and patterns. So another place that we see illustration is in fabrics, and they really run the gamut of all different sorts of themes, different styles of illustration, and patterns. So look at a few. These are some really fun ones by Anna Sanfilippo. And she also has some nice mermaids here. So this is a opportunity if you're interested in playing around with repeating patterns. This is an opportunity to play around with that. This is from what I believe is No Tene Studio. So they have some really fun drawings that are part of, I believe they do mostly wallpaper, but might have fabrics as well. And you can see how their wallpaper is applied in this mock-up. I think this is a digital mock-up. But you can just see how the pattern repeats and looks in the context of an actual room. Another artist who has played around with patterns is Julia Rothman, and she has a lot of fun designs that just have a repeat of everyday objects that you might encounter, whether it's popsicles or shoes or clocks. So they can be really fun. And here's another example here that I believe is turned into a wallpaper. This last example is Lizzie House. And what I want to talk about with this is a collection by Lizzie called Castle Peeps. And it was really popular in the quilting community. And what I love about it is you can see how there's different patterns and variations in the design of this collection, but they also really correlate with each other. And you can also see the different colorways. So we have a green, a blue, and then like a warm yellow and red collection. And so they feature characters, environment, and also really play with pattern. So this would be really helpful, I think, in seeing what an actual collection or fabric line would look like, and how they're different, and also how they are similar and work together. And then for this assignment, if you want to explore textiles, I would also like for you to do 2 mock-ups. So this is a pattern I did of pizza and pop. And then this is what it looks like applied to a product. So for textiles, what I would like to see is 3 to 5 textile swatches, or what we might call a pattern tile. So they should be 3 to 5 different designs and patterns, and then apply 2 of those patterns to a product. So it should be no smaller than 8 by 8 inches. And I would encourage you to have the textiles, again, correlate with each other, maybe choose a theme, and create a line of patterns and textiles. All right, the next category is product and packaging. So another area that we see a lot of illustration is in packaging and different products. So here we have a box for a soap bar. We also have some really fun playing cards. It's a really popular thing to decorate, to design the different cards, as well as the box that the cards would come in. Also, tarot, of course, is always very popular. This is a recent tarot collection by my friend Kevin J. Stanton. So this is just a really beautiful, well-designed card collection, also with very beautiful packaging with a lot of gold foil. You could do something like a simple product like a pin or stickers or, hair accessories. You could do little things and then think about a simple packaging with like a plastic bag and cardboard or just a thicker paper. And that can really be all that you need to have a really nicely packaged product. If you want to explore label design for a drink, that is also an option for product and packaging. So we have a few examples. This is a collection of brewed beers, I believe, illustrated by Laura Callahan. We have some mask designs. And then this is a necklace that I made with air drying clay. So if you wanted to create your own objects or beads, you could also do that. They just need to have some sort of illustrative element to them. But this could be really fun to create some sort of illustrated jewelry with packaging. So for the product and packaging category, I just want to see one product design, and I would encourage that design to be a tangible physical product with one packaging design that correlates with the product. So an example would be a card deck and a illustrated packaging box. There's certainly a lot of room to play with this assignment. So if I'd be really creative in your sketching, and then we can talk together about what makes sense during our feedback sessions. All right, the last category is an illustrated map. So kind of going along with greeting cards, going back to more 2D design, maps are very popular. You see them in magazines. You also see them as a product themselves that you can buy as a print. So here we have a really beautiful illustrated and playful map by Loveless Designs for Italy. And you just see different locations, food, activities that you can do in Italy. This is a map for Ride Ataxia. So this is kind of a fun map / almost a game board, but it was created for the Chicago Summer Challenge. This is just a fun way to combine illustration, also with advertising as well. Also with advertising, this is a map that I made when I was working with the House That Lars Built studio, and we needed to create a map for Alaska Airlines with some new locations that they had available to fly to. So I created this fun illustrated map showing these different locations that were available. So this, again, is illustration and advertising and map making. Of course, there's a lot of different places where we see maps. It's not only in advertising, it can also be in books where you might see like a fun illustrated map of an imaginary place where those characters live. So for this project, it would just be one illustrated map, hopefully would have a lot of fun details, and it should be no smaller than 9 by 12. It can be vertical or horizontal. Again, I would choose a theme, whether it is a map for an imaginary land, maybe it's a place of, or a map of where all of your favorite foods are in a certain city. You could choose the map of the country of your origin and your family history, and illustrate fun locations and foods there. But I would just encourage you to limit yourself to either one city, one state, or one country, and to keep things relatively simple and have fun with the different icons and landmarks that you want to illustrate. So again, for this assignment, it's very broad. There's a lot of options, but just choose one of the following. Either focus on 3 to 5 greeting card designs, 3 to 5 textile pattern designs, 1 product with 1 packaging that goes with it, or 1 illustrated themed map. Everyone is expected to have the following deliverables. So you will create your 8 thumbnail sketches. And if you want to explore different categories in your sketches, that's fine. If you want to do a few product designs and also some textile designs, that's okay. I just want you to be thinking about what's interesting to you. And then once you kind of decide what you think you want to explore, then you can create 2 tight sketches, and then you will create the final product or illustration for your category and follow the expectations of that category. And then I also want you to submit a quality scan or photo with styling of your product or illustration. And that's it for this assignment. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and we will be able to talk about it in class as well.